You open your eyes in a world made entirely of blocks. Everything. The trees, the dirt, the sheep staring at you with dead, vacant eyes. All blocks. Congratulations, you're Lukas, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid in a leather jacket with an ocelot face on the back, and your life is about to become the most emotionally exhausting group project in Minecraft history. Your first order of business? You're the leader of the ocelots, which sounds cool until you realize your team is basically a collection of bullies who peaked in middle school. Aiden, Gil, and Maya, your so-called friends, spend most of their time trash-talking some kid named Jesse and his friends. You stand there watching them hurl insults like they're getting paid for it. And something doesn't sit right. You're the only one in your crew who never mocks Jesse's gang. Not once. You're like that one kid in the friend group chat who never laughs at the mean joke but also doesn't leave because you're scared of eating lunch alone. EnderCon rolls around, the biggest building competition of the year, and everyone's hyped. You've been planning your team's build for weeks. Your team builds something flashy. Jesse's team builds something decent with help from a pig wearing a costume, and for a brief moment, life in the overworld feels completely normal. Then some dude named Ivor, who looks like he's been living inside a conspiracy theory, summons a wither storm. Not a regular wither. A wither storm. The kind of thing that makes you reconsider every life choice that led you to this convention. The sky turns dark. Tentacles made of pure nightmare fuel start sucking in everything. Blocks, animals, people. It's like if a tornado and a Lovecraftian horror had a baby, and that baby was really, really angry. Here's where things get interesting for you, buddy. While everyone else is scrambling for their lives, you freeze. Your legs lock up. Your brain goes into safe mode like a Windows XP laptop running too many tabs. People are screaming. The world is literally being devoured, and you're standing there looking like a mannequin at a clothing store. Coward? Maybe. Terrified? Absolutely. But here's the thing nobody tells you. Being scared doesn't make you weak. It just means your survival instincts have excellent taste in threats. Jesse drags you along anyway, and suddenly you're part of their crew. Petra's there too, the one person who actually fights like she's got a personal vendetta against every hostile mob in the overworld. She gets infected with wither sickness at one point. And the guilt eats you alive because you feel like you should have done more. You carry that guilt around like an extra inventory slot you can't empty. The catch? Nobody actually wants you there. Axel treats you like you owe him money. Olivia gives you the side eye every other sentence. You're the new kid at school sitting at the popular table, except the popular table is currently running from a world-ending apocalypse. And your lunch tray is a sword you barely know how to swing, but you keep showing up. That's your superpower. Not combat, not building, not some flashy enchanted weapon. You just keep showing up. You help find the Order of the Stone's temple. You fight when you need to. You carry supplies, you bandage wounds, you even bring back apples for the whole group when no one asked. And you apologize approximately 700 times for things that aren't even your fault. You're basically the friend who brings snacks to the group study session and still gets blamed when everyone fails the test. The Witherstorm gets worse. It splits into three. Because apparently one apocalyptic tentacle monster wasn't enough content for this franchise. You watch Jesse charge into battle with a weapon that might work or might just make the thing angrier. You watch Ruben, the pig, the absolute legend, the emotional support animal of this entire operation, sacrifice himself to save everyone. And when Jesse breaks down, you're there. You don't say anything clever or profound. You just stand there, because sometimes that's all anyone needs. You understand what Ruben meant to them, and you let Jesse grieve without making it weird. Congratulations, the Witherstorm is dead. You're a hero now. Jesse's gang, the New Order of the Stone, is famous. People cheer for you in the streets. You even get some shiny orange armor with goggles that you think make you look cool. They absolutely do not. But nobody has the heart to tell you. You strut around Beacon Town looking like a steampunk librarian, and honestly, the confidence alone sells it. You even get dragged through portals to other dimensions, Sky City, a mansion full of murderous mysteries, worlds that make zero logical sense. Through all of it, you keep trying to hold the group together while Axel and Olivia bicker like an old married couple. But fame doesn't fix everything, especially when your old crew decides to go full villain arc. Aiden, your former buddy, kicks you out of the Ocelots and rebrands the squad as the Blaze Rods. Let that sink in. You built the Ocelots. You were their leader. And this guy just waltzes in, takes your team, gives them an edgier name, and turns them against you. It's like founding a company, going to the bathroom, and coming back to find someone changed the locks, and redecorated your office. Aiden even pushes you off Sky City into a literal void at one point. An actual void. The dude shoves you off the edge like it's a casual Tuesday afternoon. You survive, because plot armor is a beautiful thing, but the betrayal stings worse than the fall ever could. And through all of this, the betrayals, the near-death experiences, the constant disrespect, you never become bitter. You never go dark. You never have a villain arc. Some of your fans are probably still waiting for it, refreshing their screens, hoping you'll snap and say something edgy. Nope, instead you apologize to Jesse's gang for things the Ocelots did, even though you personally never did any of them. You take accountability for a group that threw you in the trash. That's not weakness. That's a level of emotional maturity that most adults can barely spell. Oh, and let's not forget the spleef incident. You literally die in a spleef match at one point, suffocated. Gone. Done. But because this is Minecraft, you just respawn and dust yourself off like nothing happened. Imagine dying in a game of Floor is Lava, and your response is to just come back and keep being nice to everyone. That's you. That's the energy. So what do you do with all this trauma? You become a writer. You start documenting the New Order's adventures in a journal. You trade your sword for a pen, or whatever the Minecraft equivalent is. A feather and an ink sac, probably. You become the group's historian, the one who makes sure the story gets told right. It's the most Lukas move possible. You spent the whole adventure being underestimated, so now you're literally writing yourself into history. Then Season 2 kicks in, and Romeo shows up. The admin, a being with god-level powers who decides the best use of his unlimited cosmic abilities is impersonating Jesse and turning Beacon Town into a dictatorship. Because apparently unlimited power and good decision-making don't overlap on any Venn diagram in any universe. Romeo locks up your friends, terrorizes the citizens, and parades around wearing Jesse's face like a bad Halloween costume. What do? You snap into action. Not tomorrow. Not after a motivational speech from someone else. Right now. You single-handedly free the imprisoned townspeople. All of them. You reform the Ocelots into the new Ocelots, rallying the citizens of Beacon Town like you're delivering a pixelated Braveheart speech. The same kid who froze in front of the Wither Storm is now leading a full-scale rebellion against a god. Character development? Completed it, mate. You even mentor this nervous kid named Radar, Jesse's intern, telling him he's braver than you were at the start. You, the guy who froze at EnderCon, are now handing out motivational wisdom like candy. Life really does come full circle in this game. When the real Jesse shows up and explains that Romeo stole their identity, you believe them immediately. No suspicion, no dramatic prove-it scene, no trust issues. You just look at Jesse and go, yeah, that tracks. Because loyalty isn't complicated for you. It never was. You pledge the new Ocelot's support and help Jesse reach the terminal space to strip Romeo of his powers for good. And here's the kicker. After everything Romeo did, after the imprisonment, the impersonation, the tyranny, you're the one who argues against leaving him trapped in the terminal space forever. You show mercy to a god who turned your life upside down. You are genuinely, infuriatingly, impossibly good. The kind of good that makes other characters look at you and think, is he broken? Is this some kind of glitch? Your whole life in this blocky world has been one long exercise in being underestimated. You get called New Guy by Axel, Blonde Guy by Ivor, Blondie by Jack, and somehow Louis by Ivor, who apparently cannot be bothered to learn your actual name despite traveling with you across multiple dimensions for months on end. You have a pet ocelot named Dewey, who is probably the only creature in this entire universe that appreciated you from day one without needing a 3-episode character arc to get there. And somewhere in your inventory, right next to that journal and those ridiculous goggles, is a level of patience that would make a Buddhist monk file a noise complaint. You watched your friends get taken, your team get stolen, your dignity get tested at every single turn, and your response every single time was to show up, help out, and quietly write about it later like some kind of blocky Hemingway with better hair. So yeah, you're Lukas, the brave one nobody called brave, the loyal one who kept getting kicked, the writer who lived the entire adventure before he ever put quill to paper. And right now, you're sitting in Beacon Town, goggles pushed up on your forehead, Dewey purring at your feet, scribbling in your journal about the time you led a rebellion against a literal god, and somehow still making yourself sound like a side character in your own story, because that's just who you are. The main character energy is screaming from every page, and you're over here writing Chapter 7, in which Jesse did something cool and I was also there, I think. Absolutely unbelievable.